Welcome to The Yadasha Show, District 29's favorite podcast. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to The Yadasha Show. My name is Ann Johnston Brown, and I am one of your hosts. Of course, the other host is our namesake, Yadasha, and she is on the line. Hey, Yadasha, how you doing?
I am wonderful. I am here and I am loving this beautiful day.
I am too. Oh boy. But you know what? There are some people that may not be loving too much about life right now. Let's talk about it. We've got a subject that's hard to talk about sometimes. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's very hard for people to speak on this topic, and it's very scary now these days because it is a very important topic that has been happening in our own community.
Right.
Suicide.
Right.
With the saddest part, suicide within children. Every time you turn around, there's children committing suicide on the news,
Right.
and it's due to bullying. And their question, it seems that I look in the comments that come up the most. Why is there so much suicide in children now these days? And you really have to sit back and put your head down and think, what is it in Nevada where kids are committing suicide because of bullying?
Is that what a main cause is? You're
every
finding?
every single time it's from bullying.
Wow.
For the most part.
Wow.
And it made me think, and I was just like, it's because there is no consequences anymore.
That's right. That's right. And so the bullies are getting away with it. So
Absolutely.
the victims have no recourse.
Absolutely. The problem is that when it comes to the school district, they have positive reinforcements. There's no more detention. We've talked about this before. No more court continuation, suspension. It's just positive reinforcement on bad behavior. So they're being awarded and undisciplined on them being cruel.
That's right. And also, I think it's that in our generation, well, I'm one generation even before you, but I'll tell you, we spare the rod, spoil the child. It's biblical. And yet to sweet talk someone into good behavior just doesn't work.
It absolutely does not. So, and this is why I wrote the bill to enforce parents to be held accountable for their children's actions. Because these parents that are losing their children due to suicide, they're never going to be able to speak to their child again. They're never going to be able to wake them up for breakfast, take them to school, go to prom, whatever it is, because of someone else's child. And that child is like, I can do whatever I want because my parents aren't going to do anything.
And also, we have to address the fact that we've got to deal with the bullies. We've got to deal with the way that the bullies are being reprimanded or the lack thereof. But then we also have to tend to those victims that are committing suicide. If you are a child and your only outlet is to end your life, we've got to tend to that as well, not just ending the bullying, but also tending to the kids.
It's just so harsh for these kids that just want to be educated and just want to learn, and they're too scared to leave the house because they know the outcome and nobody's going to do anything, and their parents are trying, but they're not getting what they need.
You as a legislator, and let's just hope that people are wise enough to vote for Yadasha Williams for Assembly 29. Legislators can legislate and put things into law, and let's hope that a law can be passed where people will be held accountable for how they are handling the bullies. In 1988, Garland Brinkley earned a bachelor's degree from Cal State Sacramento, and in 1995, a PhD from UC Davis. His career experience includes working as a university professor, as well as an area census office manager and a professional consultant. Garland is currently running for Nevada State Assembly District 1, and he's here with us now. How you doing, Garland?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Oh boy, we are so excited to have you on the line. We're just talking about uh, suicide amongst the young kids these days, and I don't know, Yadasha, why don't we ask Garland a little bit about that if he knows anything?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen in the news lately. There's been a lot of suicide due to bullying in the valley, and it's really sad because these kids are very young. They're like preteen, very young, committing suicide. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought is that because of social media and the prevalence of that, and kids going on that, they may not be emotionally able to handle that. Because you could bullying on that with social media, and they may not talk to their parents enough or to have enough spiritual background. So that's my thoughts on it. It's like probably too much exposure to social media.
Yeah, it's that's a huge thing going on now because for social media, you have to be at least 13 years or older to go on social media. I personally think it should be older because you do have to have thick skin to be on social media, and kids aren't fully developed at that stage. On top of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so when it comes to like social media, and there's some kids they don't tell their parents about it, but these kids that are committed suicide in our valley, their parents are involved. They're complaining to their parents. Their parents are keeping them out of school for like 2 weeks at a time to prevent the bullying because the school has positive reinforcement instead of detention and suspension and court continuation is gone. All of that is gone. So the bullies and the misbehaved kids are still in the school with the kids that just want to learn.
Yeah, and the children don't have any place to, like a sanctuary place to go to
No,
because of social media. It's always there. And so it's like church, even libraries and so on. It's like they're always exposed to it. And it's very addictive with the social media being online, finding things out, stimulating your brain.
absolutely. Because me, as a parent of four, my kids do not have access to social media. No,
No.
I need my kids to be focused. They need to know current events and they need to know their history. And when it comes to social media, it's really just what people feel.
Yeah, this Clark County School District wants to basically take away the phones of the kids in school. But parents aren't happy with that, and they've expressed that they want to be able to contact their kids all the time.
That's what
Well,
the
the
office
parents,
is for.
yeah, absolutely. But if the parents can contact the kids, that means other people can too. I said the bullies on social media, things like that, they're other classmates. So they need to get away from that.
I saw that from 6th to 12th grade, they won't have access to cell phones or internet for their cell phones while in school. Speaking of school district, with so many people talking about education and the kids' future, what initiatives do you support or will you improve for the quality of education and ensure that children has access to quality education? That's getting at number 50 right now.
Yeah, well, we're very low in it. Um, there's different ways we can approach it, but my thought is that we want to make sure the parents are involved in it. And it's very critical with that. And the way the school districts usually work is they consider themselves the primary educators and they don't want parents involved. We need parents involved. And the way I look at that is that parents should guide or choose where the child goes to school. And so the money that's funded to the students, and it depends on who you talk to, is like anywhere from like 11,400 a year, 9,500. So it varies with that, but that should follow the student. So if the student goes to another school, the money goes with the student. But if the child is educated at home, homeschooled, the money stays with the student. So the parents would get that.
That's something I agree on, being that I used to homeschool and it is very expensive. And when you pull your kids out of school and you choose to educate your kids on your own, you're not just paying once, you're paying twice. You're paying for that child's education on your own, but you're also paying the tax dollars, even though they're not even in the school district. So I commend any parent that is homeschooling. They deserve to have the freedom to not have to pay twice.
Absolutely. And like I said, then the parents can guide the education of the children.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the school district, one of the biggest issues is safety. There's no safety inside the school district. Kids are getting beat up. Teachers are getting assaulted by students. And some people are just like, we need a change inside the school and outside the school. We're getting robbed left and right. Cars are being stolen. How can you assist with making changes once you are in office?
Well, one thing I would do is I would make sure that kids in school that are disruptive or violent are, I won't say expelled, but they'll be given independent study plans. But when I say independent, not at school. So they won't be allowed on campus. So students that are violent or disruptive class, they will not be in the classroom. And they will basically be, like I said, elsewhere. They'll be not allowed on campus.
Yeah, I firmly believe in core continuation and alternate behavior schools for kids that just, because those schools are there not just to discipline the child, but give them an alternative on how to behave in a public setting. We need to show these children that people do care and they should care even more. This is your life, your future. You should care just as much as you want a teacher to care.
Absolutely. And when kids disrupt the classroom, other children cannot learn and the teacher cannot teach.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to kids in school, some of them they're misbehaving because they don't have the proper home setting, such as children that is struggling because there's not enough food at home, or they are actually homeless and nobody knows. How can you help with making sure there's no child left behind with having a home in the community?
Like you mentioned earlier, we have alternative schools and that kind of thing. And we do have lunch programs, even breakfast programs where the kids are fed because their income is too low and they don't have it available at home. I would like to see more alternative possibilities for the kids, like early schools with activities after school, so the kids could be safer and do homework there. When I went to school, this was quite a while ago, we had a couple of teachers that would actually keep their classrooms open until like 6 and 7 o'clock at night, and they'd be doing their grading and that kind of thing. But there'd be a place for students to go to even that late. And it's like, as far as I can see, we don't have any of that now.
Now, before we let you go, I just want to give you the opportunity to say any last things to the Valley, in addition to letting them know how they can reach you.
Oh, sure. You can reach me on our website at Brinkley for Nevada. You can go there and see what I stand for, what my positions are, what my platform is. And so that's a good way to do it. I go to a lot of meet and greets in our community. We also have a town hall for adults that have some time, and it's at the first Thursday of every month, and it's here in North Las Vegas at the Red Lobster on Craig. First Thursday of every month, it's 11:30.
Well,
Garland.
And don't forget, Garland is married to one of our past guests, Patricia Brinkley, and she was also talking about that conservative town hall. So I hope everybody gets out there and joins them. They have a lot of great guests, and I think it's a no host type of lunch, right, Garland?
That's correct.
Right.
You can eat anything you want, but you have to pay for it, and you order.
Well, I like that plan. I wish that worked in government. But anyway, but don't forget, everybody, too, that we are going to be doing a conservative town hall as well with Yadasha on Wednesday, May 22nd from 6 to 7:30 at Joe's Place on Gibson Road in Henderson. So if you want to RSVP or get more information, go to our website, williams4nv.com. Hey, you guys, it has been great. Thanks a lot, Garland, for joining us today. And don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow with another guest. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.